This is going to be a look at Pepe Williams' play through 2 games of the preseason, trying to evaluate some of the things he does. It's quite obvious when watching the games, particularly the Tennessee game. Well, both of them. The guy makes plays. He's around the football, high energy, high motor. If you're on Twitter like I am, you see his walkout to practice every day. A guy who appears to bring so much positive energy to the situation, to practice. He brings that to the games as well. Just another example of a guy who's versatile as well. He plays in the slot generally. Correct me if I'm wrong. At Houston, he was a safety his last year there. I may be wrong on that, but the coverage skills are there. Looks like a guy who's played multiple positions in college and probably previously. Real comfortable covering guys on out-breaking routes. He definitely looks to undercut some of those routes and make the play in terms of an interception. I love his ability to turn his hips in man. He's kind of playing that Marlon Humphrey role where teams go bunch. He's lined up over the point man all the time. How much is he going to be able to contribute in the regular season? I'm not sure. I mean, it's similar to Isaiah Likely. I want to see where the train tracks end, because both of those guys are headed on a direct path to contributing in the NFL, if you ask me. And it's just a matter of, for this season, where is that going to end? Where's the ceiling going to be on both of their play or their impact? For Isaiah Likely, obviously it looks like a pretty high ceiling. Pepe Williams looks like a guy who you could put in there. I said this in another video. I think sometime this year, I don't know when it's going to be. Could be week 1, could be week 3, week 7, whatever. He's going to get on the field, and he's going to cover somebody's receiver and do a great job and, knock a pass down or get a pick or something. And opposing teams' fans are going to, say, well, how do we let that guy make that play on us, not recognizing that this is a really talented player, another really talented player that the Ravens were able to get in the 4th round. Kind of ridiculous, really, the amount of talent that we were able to get in the 4th round. I did a post on YouTube about it, basically saying, hey, at this point in time, who do you think is going to have more impact? Our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounders collectively as a group, or our 4th rounders collectively as a group? I mean, it's debatable. Pepe Williams in the slot against Tennessee, jumping this out, makes contact with the receiver clearly as the receiver's making his break. But it's cool. He's got inside leverage, and he's still playing the out. So as soon as the ball snapped, he's looking at the receiver, whereas prior to that, he was looking in the backfield. So he's getting some kind of pre-snap, look or awareness, and then breaks on it. Very easily could have been a pick 6 on the initial 3rd down of the game against Tennessee. I think that was the 1st possession. Maybe it was the 2nd possession. Somewhat similar alignment here against Arizona, but he's outside of number 2 now. You can see number 2 there. So he's outside leverage. And it's a little bit deeper out. Pepe Williams is smooth. Watch the transition of his feet. Ball's thrown somewhere else, obviously, but watch as he gets in his pedal here, and then when the receiver makes the break, watch his feet, stamp and make a 90-degree, break. And he looks to undercut. You can even see there just slightly. He looks to undercut. Hopefully I can do this well. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the slow play is working better here than it does in my other program. You can see he's looking to undercut. He's always in good relationship with the receiver. Tough-minded. He seems like a guy who just doesn't give an inch. I don't know if he played basketball, but I can imagine that if he did, he'd be a pain in the ass to go against and have to, get the ball up court. Here he is down on the goal line against Tennessee, and we'll let this run through, and then I'll pull this back and talk about it a little bit. He just refuses to get picked here. He refuses to get screened. It's the touchdown by Malik Willis to the top side. That's inconsequential to what we're talking about. Let it run one more time and slow it down. If that's going to work for me, it doesn't appear that it's going to work well. All right. So you got this receiver, this number 1 receiver, tightly lined, and he's coming upfield intentionally. He's trying to get to Williams' outside shoulder, okay, or at least he should be. He should be trying to get to his outside shoulder. Williams is refusing to let that happen, folds over the top. You can see how closely him and Robert Jackson are together. Looks like their knees actually collide slightly. Williams is super comfortable in these situations, and I think there's a cumulative effect of him constantly getting his hands on. He's not getting a hands on receiver here, but he's comfortable with body contact. He's comfortable with being really close to people. He's comfortable with that proximity in terms of these rubs. He's just a natural. Well, I don't want to say he's just a natural. It's probably the years of him, working DB drills, understanding leverage, understanding routes. Doesn't seem to get flustered at all by any of this. We have this kind of off alignment against 3 receivers against Arizona often, and that surprised me. We actually talked about this in the Discord. Frank, Jeremy, and a couple other guys were talking about how we're kind of susceptible to a bubble here, and it surprised me we didn't see it more often. But in any case, he refuses to get picked here once again. Actually runs into the receiver. It's an incompletion up here to the top side to Chuck Wiley, who is playing well. EA Edgar Allen covered that in the video again. I keep forgetting to link his videos in my videos, but I at least try to share them on Twitter. But Chuck Wiley playing well, but that's not the point of our video. Watch Pepe Williams, run into this receiver, try to dodge him, but works out to our benefit if the ball was to be thrown there, that we make contact with one receiver while we're still able to stay on our feet and guard the other guy. And of course, that guy number 17 is the guy who gave Brandon Williams some issues. All right, Brandon Stevens. Pepe Williams on the point man again, doing the Marlon Humphreys impersonation. Watch the tight coverage that he gets in man. So that's one route and this is going to be there are going to be 3 of these, I believe, in this video. There's going to be one where the receiver immediately stops at about like the 12-yard mark, and you'll see Pepe Williams stop with him and just match him step for step. Both looking back for the ball. Great. I love this right here. Having a hand on the guy, just being able to feel, the pressure and feel the directional cut if he does make one. We get a sack. All right, another one. Man on the point man against Tennessee. Great stance. Incredible focus. No BS. There's no BS in his stance. It's all business. And I don't know, some of the receivers that he's guarding, but it's cool to watch him play. He ends up in trail here, and he's reading this helmet. And this helmet looks like a giveaway to me. You can tell where the route's going to break. You can tell that he's trying to sell it, and Pepe Williams is not worried about it at all. One of the few moments, however, like right in a moment here after I unpause this, where he kind of gets a little off balance, but he understands something about his leverage, where he has help. Tampa Bay Bucks played this trail a lot against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Really gave the quarterback issues because they had the safeties sitting over top of it. They were playing it in 2-man, and so any throw was going to have to be made with such a high trajectory that it was going to give the safeties time to react to it. It really gave them trouble. Obviously, the pass rush gave the Chiefs trouble in that game clearly, but that trail man technique I thought was something it was somewhat unique that the Chiefs hadn't seen a ton of, and the Bucs did a great job of. Pepe Williams versatile. The ball is being thrown to this receiver on the sideline. He's trying to undercut it again. He's looking to make plays. They blitz him from the slot twice in the Tennessee game. He doesn't get the sack, but the outside linebacker who is rushing from his side does. Tight end pushes Pepe Williams out of there. Not surprising. The tight end's a bigger guy, strength advantage, so he's able to knock Pepe Williams downfield some. You'd like to see him stay a little tighter on action away from him, but I think it's Dalen Hayes and Travis Jones get the sack. All right, a couple of things to note here. I mentioned I think he was a safety at Houston, or I think he played a lot of safety. Let's put it that way. Maybe he was a hybrid, one of those hybrid guys like a Jalen Petre in college. So correct me or if I'm wrong in the comments section if you wish, but watch his back pedal here. Watch how smooth he is. It's going to be a completion to the top side on a deep in route. And I'm going to digress a little bit here in this video, and some of you may not like it, so, my apologies if that's the case. Watch how smooth he is in his pedal. So his chest is facing the sideline, and that's to get him, that's intentional. That's to get him moving this way, but also allow him to be able to see whatever is here. Now, he could do that from a flat back pedal as well, but he's trying to time it. He's late. Let me rephrase it. He's not late. He's trying to show this at the last possible second. That's the quickest way to get back there. And then watch the pedal. Smooth, smooth. Him and Kyle Hamilton are, if you ask me, moving into a too high alignment here. And it's one of the things that McDonald is doing a lot of. He's trying to disguise things. And the young guys are doing a good job of it, which to me says I have no doubt that Marcus Williams, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Fuller, Marcus Peters are doing a great job of it as well. So now, the one part that I said I was going to digress on, and if people don't like it, my apologies. This route combination right here is the exact same thing the Ravens have run before. I would say since 2019, we've run this 6 times that I'm aware of, maybe 8 times total. So it's a late drag from the one receiver side by a tight end. You've got a clear out route by the number 2, which is this guy here, all right? And then you've got a deep in by the number 1 route, which is the guy who's catching the ball. The primary part of this is what's called a high-low on a curl flat defender to the trip side. So what they're doing is they're trying to read him. If he was to jump this underneath too soon, then they would throw the deep end, which is what Trace McSorley throws here. Now, like was talked about in our Discord tonight, because we do group film studies in there, and Frank runs some of them, and I run some of them, and anyone's welcome to run them, to be honest with you. It's fun listening to everybody talk football. That Dalen Hayes held this for a moment. He held this curl. This is the curl. He held the curl for a moment, and then he recognizes as the ball is being released, okay, there's a flat thread here. Let me take that. He doesn't spend a ton of time taking pass drops in practice. He might get 1 10-minute period a day at most to take pass drops, and he's got to work the right and left side because he plays on both sides. The third part of this, and again, this is the exact same concept the Ravens run. I'm talking about our offense now. All right. Clear out. You got this designed to hold the inside linebacker. All right, there you go. So watch as this develops. Watch what Josh Ross does. He's got to worry about 3. So this is 3. Running to the middle of the field, and there's Josh Ross. And he does a pretty good job staying on the inside hip of that guy. But what's happening is, because the inside linebackers are taught to be on the inside hip, generally, most coverages, then Ross is not expanding, and I'm not saying he should, but the concept is really, really solid. So it's going to leave this high space above the curl and in front of the DB level. Is Worley playing this? Could Worley play this with better agility? Yes, he could. My overall point here, the secondary point, is to complain about the Ravens' passing game blindly, not recognizing that we run a lot of the same concepts as other people with a lot of the same reads and very similar timing, is just an immature thing in a lot of ways. I'm just going to be real with you. Are there problems with the Ravens' passing game at times? Sure there are. Absolutely. There are problems with other teams' passing games in the NFL at times as well. This is an example of the same exact concept that we run, same exact read. By the way, the first time I saw it, the Ravens hit Hollywood Brown for like a 27-yard catch on that deep end against the Houston Texans down in Houston in 2020 in a game that we won. I know it's a Pepe Williams video, but I'm trying to give you guys, my observations on everything I see, and I couldn't resist that one because it's the same exact concept. I'm not sure that he looks great as an outside corner compared to in the slot. You can see the top end speed is there for him, no doubt. Slightly, I don't want to say slow, but he's starting to hedge inside for an instant. So you can see he's got all his weight on his left foot for a moment. He had just pushed off his right foot, and he's got turned back to the sideline. And there's just a little bit of a loss initially, but then he's regaining it. Were he to be against a starting caliber outside corner, or excuse me, outside receiver who's 6'2", yeah, there could be some issues at times. But Pepe Williams is going to be effective no matter where they put him, in my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. That's only one rep I'm showing you. I think this is the last play, and this is not Pepe Williams. Meaning, and this is what I would say to him if I was coaching. Say, hey, dude, this is not you. All right, this is not who you are. This is not the energy you bring to this defense every day. So it's an unsettled situation. Trace McSorley gets out of the pocket. It's 3rd and 19. Here's Pepe Williams here. Watch him as the play develops. And I'm certainly not trying to criticize him. I am attempting to show you guys a complete look at players for the Ravens. I don't know what his disappointment there is, smacking his hands. It might be that we gave up the first down. I would say to him, in confidence, not in front of people, this is not you, man. Here's who you are. You are a guy who screams 100 miles an hour here and might help us not give up this first down. Now, he had played a lot of snaps in the Arizona game. I'm sure that it was quite hot. Well, I'm guessing it was. But this right here is not Pepe Williams. And that's the one and only time I've seen it happen. He might have been tired. He might have, I think he made a slight miscalculation on this original route combination to his side. But, that's neither here nor there. From this point forward, he's buying a ticket. And that's not the type of thing that I expect to see out of him. I don't expect to address that ever again. Hopefully I spoke on it in a respectful way toward him because I think he's a fantastic talent. I think we're very blessed to get Pepe Williams where we did. I cannot fathom how some other teams' front offices must look at what the Ravens did in this draft with all the talent we got. Not even speaking on the 1st and 2nd and 3rd round guys. We got 1st round talent in the 3rd round. Shocking, with Travis Jones. But Pepe Williams being just one of 6 guys we got in the 4th round. I think it was 6, right? If it was 5, then, I stand corrected. That last play is an outlier. I love the player. I love the effort, the energy, the technique, the commitment to his technique pre-snap, post-snap is at a very, very high level. What if there is a ceiling to his impact? It would be his size and athletic ability. Certainly, he's a great athlete, but for his size, his athletic ability could be a limiting factor at some point, depending on the type of receivers he's matched up against. I am very excited to see how we use him. Losing Tavon Young hurt my heart because of the injuries that Tavon Young had to work through for 2 years in a row, and then coming back last year. And if you paid any attention to my channel last year at all, I thought Tavon Young had a great season. Not a good season, a great season. Later on in the year, when we asked Tavon Young to play some outside corner, yeah, he was not as effective in that role. Somewhat similar to what I said on Pepe Williams, what I speculated, on Pepe Williams earlier, because that was, generally speculation just based on one play. So losing Tavon Young, especially for the price tag, come on. I think he was $1.2 million or 1.3, maybe less than that he signed for. We could have kept that guy around, and then to draft a guy like Pepe Williams and see the impact he's having through 2 preseason games. I think he's playing at a really, really high level. I want to hear what you guys think, if you agree or disagree with that thought or any of my breakdowns on his play. Only showed you 10 plays. There is a 3rd preseason game. I expect him to get a shit ton of reps, and it seems like he's a guy who wants to be on the field all the time. No complaints at all about Pepe Williams. Used as a blitzer. I think there was a couple of plays where he had tackles, and I didn't have those in here. Generally talking about the coverage ability for real. And I think it's pretty high level. I think he's going to get a chance to contribute for this team during the year, and I think he's going to do a good job. I would welcome you guys' comments or thoughts in the comment section. If you don't follow me on Twitter, consider following me on Twitter. I try to put short videos on Twitter and even on TikTok. To be honest with you, I joined TikTok recently just to share Ravens videos. Join or follow me on there if you want to get extra content. That is somewhat separate from the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already.